Good evening. Work hard and silence. Let the success make the noise. Welcome to BMC News Live, presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself, Shina Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. Bahrain participates in IPU 143rd Assembly. Major changes to education law approved. Amendments to pension legislations withdrawn. Issuing and renewing residency permit to be done quarterly. Saudi Arabia announced. UAE schools allowed to lift mask mandate as most students are COVID vaccinated. Today's news in detail. The Bahraini parliamentary delegation, headed by Speaker Fawzia bint Abdullah Zainal, will participate in the 143rd Assembly of the IPU and its related meetings in Madrid on November 25th to 30th. All IPU statutory bodies, including the Governing Council, standing committees on the human rights of parliamentarians and on the Middle East questions, as well as the Forum of Women Parliamentarians and the Forum of Young MPs, will convene during this assembly. The general debate will provide a platform for delegates to deliberate, exchange views and seek to galvanize parliamentary action to uphold and promote democracy around the world. The Assembly will adopt resolutions on the emergency item and on the subject item taken up by the Standing Committee on Democracy and Human Rights entitled Legislation Worldwide to Combat Online Child Sexual Exploitation and Abuse. It is expected to conclude with the adoption of an outcome document on the overall theme of the general debate. More than 500 women researchers from across the world will be part of a new think tank initiative to be launched at a first-of-its-kind summit to be held in Bahrain next month. The women on board the think tank and civil societies program TTCSP of the Lauder Institute of the University of Pennsylvania will play a leading role in helping create policies and legislation. Government schools could be forced to accept children who complete the age of 6 by the end of the year rather than the start of the academic year in September. MPs unanimously approved amendments to the 2005 education law. Double jab Bahrain residents traveling to India will be exempted from mandatory home quarantine and post-arrival COVID-19 tests. The Indian Embassy said on its social media yesterday that this follows the Indian government including Bahrain in its Health and Family Welfare Ministry's Category A. Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers Bahrain COVID Update.
COVID Updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
The Royal Humanitarian Foundation has provided 131 insulin pumps to diabetic children type 1 aged 1 day to 14 years. The foundation has launched the Al-Fairs project supported by Salmania Medical Complex, BDF Hospital and King Hamad University Hospital. Now we shall go for short commercial break. Welcome back. Amendments aimed at allowing employees to take interest-free loans from their future pensions under Islamic banking regulations have been withdrawn for 4 weeks. Shura Council earlier this year rejected changes to 3 pension laws, that is, the 1976 BDF and Public Security Wages and Pension Law, the 1976 Social Insurance Law, and the 1975 Civil Servants Wages and Pensions Law. Bahrainis who fail to secure a job before their 9-month unemployment allowance expires could see the benefit extended until they are employed. MPs yesterday anonymously approved amendments to the 2006 Insurance Against Unemployment Law that would continue to treat those who refuse opportunities and job seekers despite government reservations over the move. A total of $30 billion will be invested in Bahrain on 20 projects over the coming years, a top official said today. The projects include the construction of 5 new offshore cities. Saudi Arabia has started implementing the new service of issuance and renewal of residency permits, which is also called Iqama, for expatriates on a quarter-of-a-year basis. The move is in the implementation of a recent decision to allow the issuance and renewal of Iqama linked to a work permit for a minimum period of 3 months. However, there is an exemption of this for domestic workers and the like. The new mechanism will enable the employer to renew residency permits linked to work permit after the payment of the expatriate fee, which is financial compensation for varying periods of 3 months, 6 months and 9 months, apart from a period of 12 months, which has been in force until the recent decision. And Abu Dhabi school has lifted several COVID-19 protocols after inoculating more than 85% of its students. Grace Valley Indian School's students are no longer required to wear masks in outdoor areas. Physical distancing requirements have also been removed, while all school events including assemblies and graduation ceremonies will be permitted. The Abu Dhabi Department of Education and Knowledge, which is ADEK, recognized Grace Valley's successful vaccination efforts as it reached the Blue School Initiative's top Blue Tier. The school can now host inter-school extracurricular activities with other Blue Tier schools, including sports tournaments and competitions. Parents will be allowed to attend on-campus events provided they adhere to entry requirements. Moreover, field trips will also be reinstated amongst other privileges. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shina Sultana. Good night.